Our interview this month is going to be with RealTime Reservation founder Shawn Tarter. RealTime Reservations is a centralized inventory management system that automatically promotes and sells experiences, activities, amenities, etc., from pre-arrival to checkout, all in real time, in hospitality properties of all sizes. All right, I'm very pleased to welcome Shawn Tarter, the founder of RealTime Reservations. Shawn, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us today. Now, I had not heard of your company before, and I'm very intrigued, and I'm sure many of my listeners have not heard of your business either. Can you tell us, give us a little bit of an overview of what it is RealTime Reservations does?
Yeah, so really, first of all, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
No problem.
Real-time reservation is a fully integrated pre-arrival guest platform where guests could go on before their vacation, before their hotel stay, and reserve all cabanas, activities, parking, really whatever they want to do on property before they get there. And while they're on property, because it's fully integrated into hotel systems, they can upgrade their experience, customizations, and the hotel could also offer them packages while they're on property.
So, why did you decide to take on this role?
It's been a direct need, I think, in the industry for a long time to really couple technology with staffing, especially on the luxury side, but also seeing a lot of it on the urban side as well. So we see properties really across the spectrum being able to couple our technology with their service. And what the result is obviously higher hotel revenue, but also improved guest experiences, and also kind of doing more with less these days with staff not really being on property so much. So now you have the ability for guests to get all of the amenities, all the services that the hotel's offering, but with reduced staff and more clarity as well, because now with technology, you could actually offer more than you've ever done before. So we team up a lot of times with the revenue directors, hotel management, and really ask the question of, what do you want to offer your hotel guests besides a hotel room?
When you were designing your platform, did you include many hotels in the design process? Ask their advice?
Yeah, it's actually a very unique way, I think, that we have in building. We've never actually impressed our opinions on hotels. It's been, here's the software, what do you think? And then how do you build it with us? Probably the first 2.5 years of business, it was strictly working as a workshop with properties in Aruba, actually, and they built the entire platform. And we looked at how do different groups of staff members, different types of staff members, different locations at the property, how do they interact together? Do we actually build our real-time platform of everything being in real time with multiple levels of staff members and guests engaging in the same platform? So it's really a work in progress. It's always going to be one, and it's always going to be the hotels that drive us and ask us to keep enhancing and keep inventing the current software stack.
In the past, having a clean room and a friendly smile was enough. Today, especially post-COVID, that's not the case. Has the COVID situation changed the way you looked at your platform?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I mean, from a technology standpoint, we looked at actually including capacity in every type of event that we do. It's no longer a shuttle bus or a golf cart that takes a guest from one place to another. Now it's how many people can you safely put into a shuttle? So everything is based on capacity. But I would say that since COVID, I think a lot of the hotel management companies and ownership realize that it's more than a hotel room. They look at actually revenue, not per room so much, but it's per reservation. It's what else is the guest spending besides the hotel room? And we realize that when a property is on the beach or in a beautiful location, a lot of different enhancements could be offered to guests. And why go to third-party vendors when the hotel could do a lot of the stuff themselves? So we just see a lot of opportunity on the ownership side and management side and on the brand side to offer different types of amenities and services as part of the hotel experience, and that the hotel guest is actually valuable, because it shouldn't just be that the hotel guest can go somewhere else. It's what now they could do on property and how to provide that hotel guest with everything they might want while they're on their journey.
Excellent. You're working with chain properties?
Yeah, we work with a lot of the, most of all the global brands, but we also work with a lot of independent properties. The term chain and global brands is probably close by, but it's really about an industry. It's about the way the hotel management companies are asking us to build for them holistically. We see a lot of things about vendor fatigue and being a one-stop shop. So our offering is more broad, and it's everything the guests would do when they get to the property, before they get to the property. So it's really about working closely with ownership teams, with management companies, and also with brands. I think the big part about the brands is to make sure that we're compliant. So we spend a lot of time with the brands making sure that our software is PCI compliant, making sure the PII information is taken care of. We do a lot of sensitive integrations as well. We integrate directly into hotel credit card systems, and we're fully approved for it. And that's probably a uniqueness about us, is our ability to integrate, but also with the guidelines of the brand supporting us.
Excellent. So if I had a small property, I could approach you and maybe work with you for my property?
Yeah, the software is very scalable. And because of that, we're able to work with all different size properties. We have very, very large properties that are broken down into departments. We have properties that have multiple brands on the property, dealing with the policies of different brands having to work together, and how information is safeguarded from other brands. And also very small properties as well. Some really nice boutique properties, and even some non-hotel properties as well. You have a lot of times when different types of businesses want to rent out meeting rooms or parking or shuttle service or activities or some type of space. We seem to be a perfect fit for a vast group of an audience.
Super. Okay. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Give me an example of something, the type of recreational inventory I could use, or I could use with your platform.
Yeah, well, we started looking at really all inventory and what it means for the property. And we started realizing that properties want to have their own inventory. They want to buy bicycles and rent it out to their guests. They want to buy cabanas and rent it out to their guests. But then we also see that they partner very closely with third parties that might offer surfing lessons or some type of cookie making class during the holidays, things like that. So what we're noticing is that we started to uncover the different abilities and also liability for the property. So we incorporated a waiver system as part of the activities, if the hotel wants to add it to that activity. So we have, bicycle riding, for instance, and now we have a hotel waiver that's attached to the bicycle riding. So the guests could sign the waiver before they get to the bicycle riding event. If they have a vendor doing surfing lessons, that surfing vendor should use hotel paper, should use hotel legal paper to have a waiver, so the hotel guests are protected when they use an outside vendor. So we do a lot of work with the property on understanding their strategy, their legal strategy as well, and what it really means to offer something to a hotel guest. And once we figure out the legal part of it, the hotel financing part of it, then you can offer anything you want to any guest that exists.
So as a guest, I can go online when I'm booking and find your platform?
Oh yeah, we're directly connected to the hotel websites, on social media for the hotel as well. The hotels really use us as links, as almost as a channel, if you figure, for hotel guests. The overnight guest is very protected, and it's really important that the hotel has enough seats for the overnight guest.
All right. So I have a hotel. I have a property on a beach. How could I benefit using your platform?
Well, I think we first look at what is the goal of the hotel. We really talk about strategy with the hotel management, with the ownership, with the different committees that might be formed on property, recreation teams, revenue teams. What are their goals? We see a lot of times the beach might be a great opportunity for extra space, whether it's bonfires or candlelight dinners, things like that. But you might have city ordinances that might say, hey, you can't do this. So it really depends on how the property is positioned and what you can offer that guest based on the local rules and ability. We saw a lot of changes in different governing bodies during COVID, where different state governments had certain rules and we had to comply to them. But it's the ability for our system to very quickly change, very quickly offer different terms and conditions, different languages, just really very quickly be able to move around based on what's given to them. When you look at a property on the beach, you also might have a pool. You might have an ability to invite your guest to a different hotel. So you just have different things when you look at the guests, how you want your guests to be treated, where they want to be in a situation, what events you want to offer guests, and whether it's spa or kids club, whatever it might be, everything can happen within the system.
So it's easy to customize.
It's from a hotel standpoint, it's completely scaled. So we look at a tennis activity, a parking activity, a cabana, all looking and feeling the same for a staff, all based on how many people could be part of it, what time of day it's offered, capacity control, inventory management. It's all together. On the outside for the guests, it is everything like you mentioned. It's complete broad look. It's everything the guests want to do before they get to the property.
Now, is this a huge learning curve for employees?
We built a product that integrates into their point of sale, like Micro Symphony or Infogenesis from Agilysys. We built into the Opera property management system. For the Hilton properties, we built into OnQ. So the systems that we use are already systems the hotel's using every day. We make them understand the back end is the same as they're looking at today as well.
Oh,
So why we bring on a wide variety of offerings to the guest, the back end for the staff is exactly the same.
okay. And you say you can tie into their payment solution?
Yeah, that's really the biggest part of this is that we are compliant with the large groups. So we fully integrate into Alabon, FreedomPay, Shift4. And what that allows us to do is collect money up front or deposit up front. The hotel does. So we don't actually accept the money. The hotel sees their money in their current merchant ID, their current bank account. So if a guest is planning a trip for December, they're paying now. The hotel receives that money today. They can create a cancellation policy because now they have their money. No one else is holding their money except for the hotel. And then when the guest arrives, it rings up in the point of sale so they can actually recognize the revenue like you do everything else when the guest arrives on property.
Oh, that sounds great. Now, there's many different PMS systems out there. Are you able to sync with most or all of them?
Yeah, we have a lot of integrations to property management systems, but we think the biggest opportunities in the point of sale. So we do a lot of integrations into the large carriers. I mentioned Micro Symphony and Infogenesis, and those connect into all the property management systems. So where it's available, we're integrated into the property management system, but the point of sale really does the trick when it comes to accounting and finance.
Okay, now concern many people have today is security. How secure is your platform?
Yeah, so we take that very seriously as well. Our previous company, maybe 10 years ago now, was financial software. So we've always built based on very, very strict standards. In hospitality, we write a lot of standards now. We are part of the documentation team, it seems, at Oracle. We readily supply documentation over to them as they're building their product as well. So we are really at the forefront of the security side of this. We have independent teams. We hire TrustWave to do penetration tests on a regular basis to our software. We work directly with the hotel global brands to make sure that we're compliant with GDPR and whatever the European standards might be, Asian standards as well as US and Caribbean. So it's really been a collaborative effort. We're regularly tested. We also regularly participate on the teams at the global brands to ask them how their testing standards are, and can we enhance that as well. We also have a bunch of insurances that we've taken out as well. Most of them are brand requirements, but we have them as well for ourselves. We realize this environment that we're in, we want to make sure that the hotel data is safe and also that the guest data is safe as well.
Wow, so you're very international.
Yeah, it's the global brands have global initiatives. So obviously there's cultural, there's different desires based on region in the world. But our system is scaled to that point. At the end of 2020, in December, Marriott approached us and said, we want to rent hotel rooms by the day. Can you help us with daily hotel rooms as part of their Work From Anywhere program? So we started getting a bunch of European properties on board just to rent hotel rooms. So throughout Europe and the UK, we're all over there for renting hotel rooms. And now we just started integrating into Marriott systems for everything else in Europe. We started talking to some properties in Portugal that have different standards on reporting. So now we deal with different reporting standards of each European country. So we're doing a big push with Sheraton for meeting room places in Europe. We're doing a big push for parking with Marriott and Aimbridge as a management company. And then we're going to be doing a lot more stuff with Marriott directly in Europe. We do have a few properties at Hyatt right now in the French Riviera as well. Anything that's a pool share related to it that they could sell or rent is in our wheelhouse. So it's amazing when you have $30 a year, 30 euros a pool chair, and they have 400 on the property, what hotels could really see in terms of revenue side, and also how to organize the revenue. The biggest thing for property is organization. We've always been an operations kind of company. So it's really been about, how do you scale their staff? It's not so much about our technology being scaled. It's how do you, they have 3 staff members, they have 400 chairs, they have money that has to go back and forth. How does a hotel protect from their own employees? A lot of times they had their own recreation team. You give the guy, $50 and get whatever you want. And the hotel doesn't make any money on that. So it's really, how do you have an audit system, a reporting system? How do you keep the staff members honest? If you give an employee the ability to discount something, how do you make sure that discounting it correctly and it's not a pattern that they're seeing? So they really rely on our technology for really, how do you organize this tremendous amount of revenue potential and make sure the hotel actually gets it. And we also did a lot of work on languages. We're in every language that exists, at least that we know that exists. And it's really been a way to connect the guests. We see, Japanese guests going to Hawaii. We have to make sure that they're taken care of on languages. We have to make sure that in the Caribbean, we have multiple languages there as well. In Asia, Middle East. So we really want to make sure that the guests are seeing in their current language all of the offerings the hotel might have. And it's amazing because we're a world that travels. So we want to make sure that everyone traveling has the same experience as if they were in their home country.
Is there anything that I have not asked that the listeners should know about your company?
Yeah, I would just say that, overall, the hotels are actively working to get the best experiences, especially coming out of COVID where travel is way up, over to the guest in a safe manner that's also extremely scalable for the hotel. And technology is a big part of it. And I think that when hotel guests go to plan their trip, they should look at the system behind the hotel. It's most likely us that powers it. And our goal really is to take all the critiques and abilities to enhance the system every second. And we constantly working on doing that to really give guests the most enjoyable trip. But it's really as they want to bundle their experiences, their packages, cabanas and parking and meeting rooms and whatever it might be. That's what we're currently working on. And the hotel's working on this the same thing.
Wow, this sounds like a great way to improve customer loyalty, improving the experience, getting people back, which is going to be really important post-COVID. And the extra revenue is not that bad either. If somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what's the easiest way to do that? If they wanted to find out more about your service?
Yeah, well, a lot of the hotels know about us. The managers know about us already. So we're in active communication with almost everyone. We have an email address that says sales@realtimerest.com. That's realtimeres.com. So it's sales@realtimerest.com is a great way to contact us. But we're readily available pretty much everywhere that you might see us already. And it's really just about enhancing the guest experience during this post-COVID time. We hope it's post-COVID.
Yeah, good. I'll put that in the show notes. I'll make sure it's very visible. Well, that's super, Shawn. Thank you. Thank you very much. I found this extremely interesting, and I want to look more into everything you have to offer. So if anybody has any questions and they ask me, I'll send them right to you.
Please do.
Okay, great. I want to thank you again, and good luck. I hope everything works out for you guys in the future, in the near and upcoming future.
Very good. Jerry, thanks so much for having us here, and I appreciate the time with you today.
Hey, no problem. That was Shawn Tarter, founder of RealTime Reservations, and I really appreciate him taking the time to chat. I would encourage you to check out the RealTime Reservation website to see how your property may benefit and increase your bottom line. You can reach them at sales@realtimeres.com. That's RealTimeres.com. And I'll post this address in the episode post show notes. Do you currently have a centralized inventory management system at your property? Let me know in the comments. We cover more about your facility in the Guide to Owning and Operating a Hospitality Property Successfully book and course. You can find more information at keystonehpd.com. You will have access to this interview for as long as you'd like, but if you'd like to see all the bonuses you would have access to as a member of the Hospitality Property School Group, check out the short video in this episode's post show notes. In the next episode, I will talk about tactics for a successful pricing strategy. That's it for today's episode. Until next time, have a fun day. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you sign up for the INNsider tips, say hi on social, and join one of our groups. And make sure you get your free copy of the How to Improve Your Hospitality Property Success. You can find all of the links in the show notes. Now, if you like this, let me know in the comments section below, and if you're going to implement any of these procedures. You can support this free podcast by leaving us a review and giving us a 5-star rating wherever you happen to be listening to it. Every review helps more people find the podcast at no cost to you. If you know someone who might benefit from this, please feel free to share it. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for your attention, and let's continue to work together to put heads in your beds. Until next time, have a fun day.